Thank you, Jerry. And Jerry speaks on behalf of several of our school committee members who are here today. So I want to acknowledge and thank Vice Chair Michael O'Neill, who is here. School committee member Dr. Stephen Elkins is here. School committee member Lorena Lopera is here. Thank you so much for your diligence. Oh, sorry. School committee member Rafael Polanco Garcia is here. And our student member of the school committee, Zyra Mercer, is here, and you'll hear from shortly. Okay. And I want to thank members of the search committee who are here as well. I saw Marcus McNeil here. President of the Boston Teachers Union, Jessica Tang, who was on our search committee. Thank you so much for your leadership. Yeah, everyone here should be acknowledged. I'm so sorry. And now, I am so thrilled to welcome up a partner, someone who has been dedicated to students for her entire career, someone who shares a fierce belief in Boston and what's possible for our city, someone who has worked at every level of this district and is uniquely qualified to lead in this moment, our next superintendent of the Boston Public Schools, Mary Skipper.
Yeah. I'd like to thank our mayor. It's so exciting to hear the hope that is in her voice, and more importantly, the action that she takes to support our schools. It's been a short time, but an impactful time. So I'm very much looking forward to our partnership with the city, to Chair Robinson for her support, and to all of the school committee. Really looking forward to working with them as partners, and to our city council. You know, back in 2003, when we moved here to Tech Boston, I would spend a lot of time sitting in my car in the morning looking out at that field. And over the course of a decade, I saw a transformation happen in the community, in the field itself, with what was replaced, old, torn up, dug up, dirt bikes on it, no lighting. And over time, that field transformed. And it was very symbolic of the transformation we went through in Tech Boston. From the old Dorchester High School, a school that was mocked in the community, to one that gained the trust of the community, and through a decade of hard work, and the staff and the students, many of whom are behind me, who are now staff themselves, was really able to bring to bear a hope for kids that the future was there, they could do anything and be anything, and that everybody would support them, including the community. And that was an honor, and there wasn't a day I woke up that driving to this building, I did not get excited and amped for that possibility. That's what we need in BPS. We need every Boston public school to be a place where students run into the building, that they are thrilled to be there. We need every Boston public school to be a place where staff can go in and know that they're going to be supported and have the tools they need to serve our students and families. And we need it to be a place where our families trust that what we say we're going to do, we do. And in a transparent, and even if the data isn't pretty, even if the data that shows us that we're not yet at the place we need to be, we're at least honest about it, and we can lay out and explain how we're going to get to where we need to be. So building trust with the community and families is my priority. Building a team, diverse, talented, much like the team that existed for Tech Boston, but at a district level, building on the immense talent that's already here in BPS and having other talent join us in this mission. Creating a village, and that village that helps support our students and families is in this city, such a rich city of philanthropic and nonprofit and businesses and post-secondary. This is Boston. That has to come to bear in a village for our students and our staff. And the media is a big piece of that, because you have the power and the control to control the narrative of what people believe and what they see. And from this day forward, my hope is you are a partner and an ally with me and with the people behind me to bring the good news and message of what we're about. And then finally, you know, this is really building a vision. And it will not happen day one, because if it were, it would only be my vision. This has to be a vision we build together as a city and as a school community. And I have every confidence because I've been a part of it when it's happened. I've seen tangibly the effect of it from every single person being part of that vision, whether it's a school custodian, whether it's a safety officer, whether it is a cafeteria food service worker, whether it's a teacher, an administrator, a parent leader. Everyone needs to come together to build that vision with us. That's the way BPS is going to shine, and it will shine as long as we all do our part in that. I'd also like to say there's a lot of concrete work to be done. Special education, bringing native language access, and our work to our ELLs, and making sure that we have the best possible programming, building our academic stamina up, transportation, ensuring that buses are running, they're running on time, they're picking children up, and they're getting them to run in those doors every single day, as well as other operational components. That will be the work that I will have the honor of doing with Dr. Eccleston, who I cannot think of a more outstanding person and professional to be in the acting superintendent while I make my transition. So, get ready. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a good ride. Most importantly, this day forward, students should always begin our conversation and should always end our conversation. I won't finish before thanking two people personally. One is my husband, Peter Skipper, who I love dearly and is my beginning and my end, and Keith Love. So if you notice, we have a parking space that Keith's always with us. He was an outstanding co-leader with me for many, many years here at Tech Boston and carried on the spirit. And I still feel that spirit as I walk in there today, and I know everybody behind me does as well. So I'd like to thank both my husband and Keith for the incredible work that they did and the support that my husband did. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with the media as partners as we build this village. Thank you.
The 10,000 in service and retired educators of the Boston Public Schools and the Boston Teachers Union members, we just want to congratulate you and welcome you home, like our Jerry Robinson has shared. So many of our members have worked with you over the decades and believe in your leadership. And so thank you and congratulations. So it is, I think, no surprise to anyone that certainly there are challenges in the district. And I think what's most important, though, is that there is so much love and commitment also in this district. And you see that behind us. And so we at the Boston Teachers Union are ready to roll up our sleeves and partner with Superintendent Skipper to ensure that all students in this district have what they need, and that we can ensure that our educators and our families have what they need also to support our students. And that's what the work ahead is about. And although we've been through some dark and stormy days recently, we do strongly believe that Superintendent Skipper is the right leader and the right movement at the right moment to help lead us through the storm and steady the ship so that we can grow together and collaborate together and partner together, and we will do everything we can do to ensure the superintendent is successful, because we need her to be successful, because our students need her to be successful, and our city needs her to be successful. And that's what we're going to be focused on doing, is availing her of all of the resources and inspiration, energy, creativity, and commitment from our members, and to work with the larger school community, because today is a new day, and this is what the hope is for our district, and everyone behind us represents that hope, and you are the right person to lead us, so thank you.
So I think, when I heard that Luke had been named, or Dr. Eccleston had been named as the acting superintendent, my heartbeat went down to normal, because I've had the opportunity to work with Drew while I was there in the BPS, and I really can't think of a more capable, student-centered, organized leader than Drew. So we've already been talking as soon as last night happened. and I expect that we will be doing that on a daily basis. I see the transition in Somerville and have spoken with Somerville about this as a transition, sort of a phasing in and a phasing out, a phasing into Boston and a phasing out of Somerville. The reality is I need to be involved in talking it through with the team on a regular basis on key decisions, and that will happen, as well as planning, envisioning, and building our team. That said, I have been clear that I will phase out of Somerville and ensure that Somerville has a healthy transition, which it deserves. There's many capable leaders there, and they will be stepping into different roles as time goes on, and now that the vote has happened, we can really begin to accelerate that process. But I would anticipate that it's a phase in, phase out, to be completed during the month of September, and very excited every day that I wake up to work 9 hours in Boston and 9 hours in Somerville. So in my heart, though, was that no matter what the decision, knowing Dr. Welch, that whatever the decision, that the students of Boston would be in good hands, and that to me is a relief, because it's something that since the day I left here, I've always wanted and prayed for. So from that perspective, when I heard it, it was a bit surreal. You walk down a road, put this hat on many, many times. I'm a prayerful person, and I, with my husband, have done deep discernment on this. And so when I finally heard it, it felt really peaceful. It felt like the right next step. And I will work exceptionally hard for this city and this district. As I try to have done throughout my career, there's no better thing to work for than our students and our future. So I'm ecstatic, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, all of those things you can imagine. But I'm mostly hopeful, because of the team that I see coming to bear on this. So many people reached out just in the after hours of the vote, which is why we didn't see much last night, but reached out just to say, how can I help? And that is really the question we all have to ask. How can I help? How can you help? How can our nonprofits, our philanthropic, our city officials, within our school district, each one of us? And again, if I could do an image, there's a group of students sitting on the stairs, and they're waiting. And the sense of urgency has to be there for us, that until every single one of them has a top-rated education and every opportunity we want for our own kids, our work's not done. So that's my sense of urgency from the time I heard the vote last night, and will be until the last day I serve. But hopeful, thankful, very much. I think it'll be prior to walking in day one of the office because of the transition, but it's already. I mean, I think, special education, and between special education and our English language learners, that's 1 out of every 2 students in our district. So there is no greater priority. That has to be our focus. Native language access within our programming has to be the priority. And I think the operations, the foundational operations to support the teaching and learning, we have to get it right. We don't have margin for error there. If buses don't work, if buildings aren't safe and they're not clean, if materials and teachers don't have the training that they need for day one, those are all of the things that help our staff and our community feel ready and trustworthy in the work that we do. So that's going to be the priority. It won't be shiny and it won't be sexy, but it will be foundational and it will make a difference to students. I think, I've been following, obviously, the DESE work. We invite them as partners. I think that was the spirit of that document and the collaboration. I think there's very clear guidelines around what their expectations are in terms of that partnership, and we'll honor that, with enthusiasm. You and I have already had conversations. We will be appointing a senior level executive to be able to help from within, to be able to help at the assistant superintendent level, likely, to be able to help build that cross-functional team for the work that's in that report, to make sure we're executing it, and that's already beginning, but to execute it and to ensure that the data is available, and most importantly, we're transparent, both in the community and the Department of Ed. I've had the fortune of working with the Department of Ed in my career, both here in Boston and in Somerville, and I see them as a partner in the work, but our main partners are behind us, right? It's our teachers union, certainly, and I feel so hopeful about that. It is certainly our school building leaders, and it is our central staff, which from what I can see in the short time that I've now been able to experience, very competent, very organized, And most importantly, they want to keep the students that are on the stairs in the center. So I think, we'll make sure that we're meeting the deadlines, August 15th being the first, and we'll be well prepared for that, there's no question. And again, Dr. Eccleston and I will be working very closely every day, I am sure, many hours.